Cut to the Chase podcast, guys. Welcome back for another episode this week. Thank you again for tuning in. Always appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Please subscribe, rate, like, and share, and all the above. We are on all podcast platforms. Please, guys, tell a friend, and that's how the podcast grows. The podcast is growing, and we are growing with you. So, again, I appreciate that. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program with Cut to the Chase podcast with Chase Abel. Fucking stupid. That was so stupid. You know what, guys? I just honestly, I don't know when like things will work out for me, but I just want it to happen soon. And I was thinking about this the other day because I'm a grinder. You know, I've always been a grinder. But sometimes you just don't want to grind anymore. Sometimes you just want to just say, yeah, today should be my day. And tomorrow should be my day. And the day after tomorrow should be my day. You know what? Fuck it. The whole week should be my week. And then the whole month should be my month. And then the whole year should be my year. And the rest of my life should be the way I want it to be, which is easy. But that's not the case. So what I went ahead and did to make myself feel better, because I know that I will not be successful anytime soon. This will take a lot of work. I went ahead and bought a very dope ass aqua fresh jacket. And I'm wearing it. I'll take a picture of it, post it on Instagram, and let you guys know. But it is pretty dope. It's a Levi's Aquafresh kind of winter jacket. I bought it for $30 at TJ Maxx. Bitch. I'm done with Marshalls. You guys are playing games. I went over to TJ's. And I'm running a tab at TJ's. Have you guys ever felt like a baller with like 3 bags leaving Marshalls or TJ Maxx? Like I've always like had this like baller type of feeling when I leave Marshalls or TJ Maxx with like 4 bags. I feel like I just went to Lehman Marcus. Is it Lehman Marcus or Neiman? Fuck. First of all, if I'm asking to be successful, I need to know how to actually talk. How about that, Chase? How about if you learn how to talk, maybe read a book, sound articulate? Maybe be worth it for someone to come to me and say, hey, we want to pay you millions of dollars, and then, you know, have something to show for it. How about a magazine? You know? How about the New Yorker? Why don't you read the New Yorker? Something, Chase. Why don't you have credibility, Chase? How about that? Work on fucking credibility. Work on being someone that can say, you know what? When we hire this guy brings in the bacon. He brings in the dollars. How about being undeniable, Chase? How about just not wanting things and then just crying for them? This is how you should meditate, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you should talk to yourself and get yourself out of a funk. When you think you deserve something, just look at actually what you have and what you've done and really honestly say to yourself, am I really worth it? No. You're not. You absolutely have nothing to show for asking millions of dollars from a studio or Netflix or Hulu. Not even Bravo. Not even fucking Stars, dude, would come to my table. They wouldn't even like, if I asked Stars for a meeting to pitch something, they wouldn't even accept me. Not even the OWN network. Oprah wouldn't. She'd be disgusted with me. She'd be absolutely disgusted with me if I came to her with a pitch. And if she asked me, hey, Abel, by the way, what do you have to show? You know what I would say to her? What do you mean? You don't see the potential? You don't see the potential in me? You don't think I could just come in here and just, kill it on screen? And you know what she would say? She would look at me dead in my face and say, no, absolutely not. I don't see it. And I would say to her, I agree with you as well. I need to do a little bit better. This podcast is going to be a self-motivated podcast for me, myself, to kind of wake up and just say, cut to the chase, get up and start doing shit. So, I had a good weekend, man. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I was actually supposed to be performing, guys, update at the Comedy Connection. So this episode will be the weekday after the weekend of me performing at the Comedy Connection. Breaking news, I didn't perform there. I got bumped in the business, as they say. I wouldn't say bumped. I would say rescheduled. The headliner decided to bring his own peoples, which happens a lot in this business. So they gave me a new date. I'll be back at the Comedy Connection end of April, guys. So I apologize to the people who was going to come out and see me at the Comedy Connection, but we are rescheduled, and the booker did give me a new date. Shout out to Brian for doing that, and hope I can be there in April, and you guys be there as well. So I believe it's the last weekend of April. I'll get the dates for you a little later specifically. One of the things I also realized, in addition to me getting my shit together, was that I just realized that actually I'm a short guy. I finally realized I'm not a tall man, which is weird because this whole time in my life, I thought I was pretty average, but I'm below average according to the index. I don't know how it makes me feel. Because on my license, I say I'm 5'8", and I go by that because that's a legal document. That's a legal standardized document. Now, a lot of people don't know is that we actually can put the height in ourselves. They don't measure it. I should have said I was 6'1". Do you know there's new sneakers out there for that gives men 2 more inches on their height, not their dick. But yeah, there's sneakers out there, guys, that gives the illusion that we're 2-3 inches taller. Now, ladies, would you be upset if a guy initially approached you and you thought he was taller than he is, and then as soon as he took off those sneakers, he was the same height as you? Would you be pissed? I guess you'll probably ask a woman that. Because I don't feel like I'm short. I'm not I'm not short. I'm not 5'4" or 5'5". I'm not like Kevin Hart short. But I'm also not tall. I'm right in so I'm having a hard time trying to, I guess, accept this. It's just, I just really because I was thinking about it because you guys know as you guys know from my other podcast and the podcast now that I was an athlete, and I've always played against people who are taller, bigger, and in a weird way, I felt like I was like the same as them. So for many years, when you're with a lot of tall people in your life, you think you're tall. Now, some of you may be saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Chase. Because I don't know. I just felt like I was always one with the people, so I always thought I was taller than I was. And I finally realized that this weekend I'm fucking short because I was looking at a lot of people. Everybody this weekend was taller than me. Every single person. I didn't meet a person my height this weekend. I didn't come into contact with no one my height. Everyone was taller than me. So I started saying to myself, either A, I'm getting really old and shrinking, or B, I'm just not as tall as what I think I am. Or B, there's I don't know, something going on, a vaccine that made people tall over the weekend all of a sudden. I don't know. But these are thoughts that run through my head. Really no real significance to anything or anybody. these are just thoughts in my head that I kind of go through. Let's see what else is going on. Football, big football weekend. The Patriots obviously are not in the playoffs, but a lot of football this weekend. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. I saw that game. They played some fucking team. I don't remember the team. That was a good game. Someone told me that Patrick Mahomes, this girl that I was watching the game with, she said that Patrick Mahomes is a cornball. And I don't know why she said that. She was like, because she said the way he sounds, And now, granted, guys, this woman was definitely from East Boston. And just to let you guys know, women from East Boston are a little rigid.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
They can be, let's just say they don't like pussies. They speak their mind. Easty kid. Fucking square. Fucking I almost said it. I'm not going to say it. They drop a lot of R-bombs. Which is weird because in a weird way, for me, it's kind of sexy. Like union women. Like union women is like sexy to me. Like local 34, IBJAG, like women who's been on furlough for like 8 months. I like those type of women. Women who just like don't work but still get paid. Like they have an annuity fund and they just take like a lump sum to get them through like the hard times, but they have like a new truck. Like they don't work, but they like haven't worked in 8 months, but they have a house. I like those type of women, Carpenters, not women who are licensed though. Not electrical, not like women who are like part of like the electrical union. I want a woman who's like a part of the carpenters union, because carpenters, they don't need a license. They can just walk up in there and just start fucking putting carpet down. I like those type of women. Did you know? I don't know if you know, guys. Like there used to be a time where I used to work in finance, and I was like kind of smart a little bit, and I used to work for unions and their retirement accounts, and it was amazing to me how much money these young people had in their accounts, and they were like really young. And then I'm just like, how all these young people have all this money in like their retirement accounts? It would either be called like a retirement account or like an annuity fund, profit sharing account, same thing type of thing. But they'd be like young men and women like have like $100,000-$200,000 in their annuity fund. They're like, by the time they're 30. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, if comedy doesn't work out, I mean, based on how this podcast goes, it definitely seems like it's not going to work out. But if comedy didn't work out for me, acting, podcasting, whatever the case may be, I think I might learn a skill. I think I might go learn a trade. Why not? I feel like, maybe I'll go back and apply. I'll go back to like, what's the trade school that all the other high school kids used to go to when I was in high school? The Voc. If you guys from Massachusetts, the Voc was like the technical school in the North Shore that to go to. I think it's Wakefield. Was it Wakefield? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The question is, what type of like, I don't see myself as an electrician because I don't want to get shocked. I don't see myself as a carpenter because I think only one carpenter should only, like, I can't beat Jesus. I mean, Jesus had to have been the best carpenter in the world, right? There's no way I'm gonna do better work than Jesus. What other union jobs is there that you can do? Plumbing? See, I don't want to do septic tank shit. Longshoreman. By definition, what is longshoreman, Nicky Neighborhoods? Is that like a fisherman?
Kind of.
Okay.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah. We're trying to decide what type of union job would I fit. And probably Nicky, you probably be the best person to tell me what type of job fits me.
A person employed at a port, to load and unload ships. So you're basically hanging out by the port all day.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. Just chill.
You love the water.
Pisces.
No hesitation.
I'm a Pisces.
I could see you being a longshoreman. I could see you being a court officer.
Like a constable?
Yeah, like someone in court who may or may not be armed. I think you would have to really earn the right to be armed.
Do you think I have the... Do you think...
I worry with you because I think you would hear the court. Like, I think you would hear the proceedings of the court if it was for like... say it was like a custody, say it was divorce court and the dad wasn't helping the kid out and then he got like a little brolic. I could see you being like, no, I'm going to shoot this guy.
Oh, well, you know what?
know?
No, it would definitely, I would look at him and then you know what I would do? I would like put my hand on the holster.
Yeah, that move. But it's like
it's just,
they like lean when they do it.
They just, I just lean in a little bit, but then I just do the little. Just, I don't say nothing, but I just go right behind him as he starts getting a little fucking frisky or starts talking shit. I'll go right behind him and I'll just lean behind his ear and just go with the little.
What accent would you go with if you were a court officer? Would you go hard? Would you lean? Because I would lean into Boston.
You got to go hard Boston. Yeah, Southie.
I would say either hard Boston or super ethnic. Like I would either go hard Boston or straight out of Lebanon.
Well,
to like really just throw them.
Well, at that point, if you're gonna go straight Lebanon, then you don't need to be like have a uniform.
Yeah, I'd be the one in court.
You just be the one in court with the gun.
Mr. Sud, you own a liquor store, a convenience store, and you haven't paid taxes in 5 years.
Yeah, you own 2 gas stations. One is on lean. Yeah. One's on lean, and the other we can't verify where the funds came from because for some reason it's the bank of
it's an overseas account.
It's an overseas account.
Admirals.
There's some encryptions that
No, those state jobs are great though. They pay a lot. The city jobs and state jobs. Well, they pay good, like they pay solid. But you get paid for the rest of your life. That's the difference between that and like a finance job. If you're not like top tier in finance,
right,
you're not really making that much money.
You're not because there's no real, because I wasn't really making a lot of money in finance. I was one of these kind of, I don't want to say beginner, but I was starting out in the world of Wall Street. So I was in retirement. I was more in securities.
Was it Wall Street?
Well, we're not gonna.
Was it investor services?
It was secure. It was technically. Well, so let me give you my actual title.
Please do.
Okay.
The fans want to know.
Yes. My exact title was retirement consultant.
Wow.
Or, if I really wanted to be technical, a defined contribution analyst or a defined benefits client services analyst.
As someone who has worked in financial services and worked with people in financial services, I can tell you and the viewers that is a customer service job. You're essentially assisting someone. Like if I'm calling you about my account, you would open up the account and assist me with things.
Let me give you the technical version. You are absolutely right. However, I wasn't helping people. The technical term was I was helping participants of the plan description based on the plan summary of the 401k benefits.
Okay.
I was a little higher. I would consider myself. I would have considered myself a little bit higher than a customer service agent.
Yeah, because there's people's money at stake, and it's a little bit more. But I used to love going out to the bars when I was younger because I would help find people like you jobs, like people in the fund accountant, NAV accountant, and they would go to the bars and be like, oh, I'm in finance. I'm an analyst.
But I traded stock. But I traded mutual funds. So I had to get my Series 7 at some point.
Well,
and 6. And 63.
Did you? That is accurate. That passed the test.
Yeah.
Were you trading on behalf of clients, or were you trading on an E-Trade account by yourself and losing money?
I was trading on behalf of the company that paid for me to get the Series 6 and 67.
Oh.
So I was actually working under the umbrella of Marsh & McLennan Investments. Bitch.
And then the market crashed.
And then I quit my job. And then I decided, I want to become a comedian.
Do you think you had to think more critically then or now?
Wow, that's a great question. I didn't have to think really critically. No, I had to think more critically now, because you really didn't have to think that critical when it comes to like numbers. You know, like 1 + 1's 2.
Yeah, well,
1 + 1's 2. If you take money out of your account, you're gonna get taxed. There wasn't really. I mean, how much critical thinking can I say? Hey, you know what it was? One of the main issues I was having was like when people try to take money out of their retirement account. That's when it got dicey, because they would say, "Well, it's my money."
Yeah.
Oh, and I would have to explain to them, "Well, it is, but not right now." And there's an in-service withdrawal that you can take. I'll have to leave with options. That job, I'm going to be honest with you, really, really taught me how to be a really good customer service agent.
It's important.
Sorry. Let me retract that statement.
Yeah,
how to become a really good, personable person with information of banking. All right, I was a customer service agent. I was a really high-end customer service agent, Listen, customer service agents don't wear fucking suits, so I got to come up with a different name.
You wore a suit every day?
Yes.
You didn't have to.
I know, I was in a cubicle. I was that guy.
You know what, though? I respect that. I respect someone who goes in. It's funny because, like, you technically do work in finance.
I did.
Securities. But when you tell, now that's where people who don't know, the whole thing about finance is 90% of the people that are in finance are not the decision makers, because there's so much nuance in finance that to even check an account, like I had to call Fidelity today. Guess how many people I spoke to just to change something on my account?
What did you change? I could have helped you with that for free. What did you change?
I had
Move some money around.
I had to roll something over
from a previous account.
From a previous account, yeah.
Okay, now this is a previous account. You're no longer in service with them.
Correct.
Okay, so you're a terminated employee or non-active employee.
I would say non-active.
Okay.
To take a page out of your book.
So you were a non-active employee.
Correct.
The money, I would say, you don't have to. You could say, is it either north or south of $5,000?
North.
Good. So that means is that you can do a direct rollover into another defined brokerage account that is identified by the IRS. Now, if you have a current retirement account with your current employer, you can take that money from the previous employer and roll it over untaxed, just completely.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's correct.
And you avoid the 10% tax penalty because you're not taking it to yourself.
Wow.
Even if you want to take a little bit of money, you could have done a partial withdrawal, partial to yourself, and roll over the rest. You said, you know what? I'm looking forward to my retirement. I don't want to fucking be with Chase on this podcast because he knows this podcast is not going to make any money. So you're thinking ahead. I like that.
I call Fidelity. I watched the last episode. King Joffy energy.
You thought about some things?
And I go, Mom, let me hedge my my risk here. What are you looking for? Your phone?
My water.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. So after I told you, man, the label's been pressure. The label's been coming at me.
I'm like, I'm spending money hand over fists on Amazon lighting kits to make you look like you belong in a camera on video.
That's right, baby.
No, I had to.
You could have called me.
I had to speak to five. No, it was less about questions. It was more about making sure that it was done correctly. Because I had done it. I had done it myself through the portal. But you know, I want to make sure that there's no. I don't like back end stuff, and that's all finance is back end stuff. Oh, by the way, you did it before 5 p.m., so you're not going to be able to see this for another month. You're not going to be able to see this take. Those types of rules.
Well, let me do this.
Yeah.
Is your account made up of mainly mutual funds or a mixture of stocks and mutual funds?
It's a blended.
Allocation.
We'll say that.
So this is a blended allocation. I would say if you did not roll over if you didn't have any company stock or shares in company stock. If it's mainly just mutual funds, is it a 401k? Is it identified as 401k?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, guys, just to let you know, because Nick, is just not getting it. A 401k is not designed to be traded. It is a tax-deferred account. So basically, any movement or shares being sold before 4 o'clock, which is a New York Stock Exchange being sold, it will be traded that day, and then all the monies will be sold, and then the next day a check is cut, and then you get the share price based on that day. Nick is trying to basically tell you guys that he wanted some insider information trading. He wanted to know exactly what you
see. This is what Chase does. This is, and I guarantee you've done this at a bar in front of women. Or whomever, because you're describing a brokerage account, which is completely you're mixing the accounts. I almost believed you there for a second.
It is a brokerage account.
That almost sounded plausible. Technically, yes, but it's not.
It's a self-directed
it's a 401k.
It's a 401k is a self-directed brokerage account.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be selling any shares.
Yes, you would. When you do sell shares, if you're doing a rollover, you're selling the shares, all your shares, based on whatever the market price is dictated when it closes. And then there's a check that gets cut based on the value of the account.
Ladies and gentlemen, please mark on your calendars the day that I stand corrected on the Cut to the Chase podcast. You're absolutely right.
6'11".
Somehow, I don't know how you weave, because then you go into something where I'm like, no, that's not what it is. And then you pull back another piece of thing where I go, yes, technically that is true.
Yeah.
You win on technicalities.
That's what I'm about. So now you get the share price. Basically, if you call Fidelity and say, hey, I want to roll over my money on my account, they're going to say, okay, we're going to sell your shares.
By the end of market close.
You get that share price.
The point of this whole thing was I spoke to 5 people to get that done.
You could have just called me.
Again, which is why there are so many jobs and why people can say I work in finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was the real deal, like based on what I just said.
Well, you were who I spoke to on the phone. That cost me 48 minutes when they could have just said, yes, this is all taken care of. I had to be transferred 5 times.
No, I know it wasn't me. You know why? Because as soon as I saw your fucking name on the caller ID, and if you said, hey, I need to move all my money, you know how I responded? I would say, you got no money. Sorry.
It's gone.
Yemen has it.
Assalamu alaikum wa
The Bank of
rahmatullahi
Yemen.
wa barakatuh.
The Yemenis
has it. Yeah, man. I used to do that shit. And you know what's funny? When I used to work not in your
financial services.
I used to work in financial services.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty fun because I learned a lot. Oh. What I did learn also, a lot of people in this country don't know the basic principles of money and finance, which is interesting. More than 50% of people don't even know how money works, like with 401ks and stuff like that.
No.
It was crazy. Very stressful. I worked during the market crash. It was nuts. I learned about pensions. I don't have pensions,
It's interesting, yeah.
Pensions, yep. Learn about pensions, how pensions work, annuity funds, 403Bs, 403As, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I got into brokerage accounts, self-directed brokerage accounts, wealth management, stuff like that, trading. So that's a lie. I just wanted to just act like I did something more than what I did.
Yeah, I wasn't going to call you out. That's fine.
Save your money, people. That's basically the segment of this goddamn soliloquy that me and him.
You're never gonna be truly wealthy, on paper. So you need to determine wealth, what your definition of wealth is.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do.
Yeah, and I think it's different. The answer is different for each person. obviously, right? Some people say, see, the thing is about retirement. Let me ask you a question.
Please do.
And just answer this just
with as few words as
with
possible.
as few words
yes.
as possible. Thank you. What age would you like to ideally retire, Nick? Did you ever think about that?
I don't think I ever want to really retire. That's the thing. It's like I always want something to do.
Right.
I'm one of those people. Like I could honestly just have something to do for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
So you wouldn't retire.
35 years old is when I'd like to retire.
Yeah, because I don't see you having a job like I see you always like having a job. Like if you want to have a job, you can get a job. You're resourceful. You have education. You can get a good job. And however, like I don't see you if you stick with like what you really love. I don't see you having like a technical job. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah, I think I think for me it's the same thing. Like I would love to. I would never not stop working as long as it's in the path of like what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If it's in the areas that I love to what I love to do, comedy, film, podcasting, whatever. But if you were to like, let's just say if this like all went to like, let's say comedy was not around, podcasting was not here, and if you had a job, like what age would you like to retire and enjoy it? Earlier or like
earlier? Yeah.
55?
Yeah,
56?
because there's 40. Yeah.
He's like tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing with me is like I think like it's tough when you're in both worlds. It's really tough to have one foot in one world and one foot in the other world.
Tell me about it.
But I think that
I wasn't a race thing. Sorry.
I'd like to retire from this episode. I'll tell you that much.
So 40s, right? 40s.
Yeah,
is a good age,
look,
yeah.
I think like you build something and you then create a situation where you don't have to work as hard.
Fuck, dude. Can I tell you something?
Please do.
I was talking to one of my people that I work for, at my job, right?
Sure.
And he told me how he made like his first money, like his first he sold a company that he created.
Yeah.
Right? He was in law school. He was like 24 years old. I think he was in New York or something. He went to Columbia or something. Dude, he said while he was in law school as a lawyer or whatever, as he was working as a lawyer, he started a company. It was a pretty much like a housekeeping services company for companies or whatever.
Corporate cleaning company.
Corporate cleaning company or even like residential, whatever, right? It was a services company, right? Dude, he said, this is when I knew I have to get my shit together, right? This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to tell you.
But mainly ladies.
You'll talk to rich people. Talk to wealthy, rich people. Stop talking to fucking Juanito at the bodega.
You went so specific.
Stop talking to Juanito at the bodega about your future of your not to say Juanito doesn't know
You can
anything.
still talk to Juanito,
still
but
talk to
not about
Juanito.
your 401k.
Don't talk to Juanito at the bodega at 11 a.m. about your 401k. Juanito just came from a smoke break of smoking weed. He has to friggin', start putting the Air Force Jordans out, and he doesn't care about anything that you
He's
have.
trying to digest the chopped cheese right now.
Talk to wealthy people, guys.
Yeah.
This is what he told me. Lawyer, while in law school, started a company, retired at 41. Guess how much he sold it for?
I don't know, 20 million.
$100 million.
There you go. That's it.
And he said the rest, and he said, and the way he said it wasn't even like braggadocious. He goes, Chase, let me tell you something. Like, oh shit, this is when rich people wanted to tell you something. When they say, let me tell you something.
And then they pull you in
And then
close.
they pull you
and
in.
they don't talk loud.
He pulled me in quiet.
Yes.
He's like, and then he squared himself off with like everyone else. He goes, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. He goes, when I was 22, 23, 24, I was in law school. I started a company. Okay. The way he even said I started a company was like as if like it was so light. Right? He goes, and I used to tell people, my senior management people, when I owned the company, no is not an answer. you know, like that's what he was telling me. And then he goes, that's how we gain trust with like our clients, because we always, you know, did what they wanted us to do. And then he said, fast forward. Once he says fast forward, I know he's getting to the end and how much he made off this company. My dick started getting hard. He goes, yeah, and I sold it for $100 million, and the rest was history. When he said the rest was history, my left nipple got hard. $100 million at 41 years old. Me and you need to start a fucking cleaning company.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. Wealth whispers. Money talks, money screams. Rich people scream and tell everyone how rich they are. Wealth is like a quiet whisper. You ever notice when a wealthy person tries to tell you something and get like spit game at you, they bring you in close so no one can hear? It's they literally like almost whisper it to you.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is, but it's not. Because you know what I've learned, at least one thing in my 41 years, is that the key to being successful is not money. It's information. Mm-hmm. If you have the information, then you can learn and do what you got to do. If you don't have the information,
little money's nice though. You having a little, you know.
But information is more important than actual money.
Sure.
Because you can just have money and not know shit and blow it all.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. You see people like win the lottery. They don't know shit. They don't know information.
But when he goes in the rest was history or when he said fast forward.
Yeah.
It's like that's the part I don't think that people really are ready for.
The middle part. Well, yeah, the hard work.
Where it's
the
like
grind.
you're in fucking law school. You don't have a weekend. There's no weekends. You don't have a weekend for 15 years. You're not going to have a weekend. But at the end of that 15 years, you're going to have whatever you set your mind out to as the end result.
Yeah.
I think 9 out of 10 people would say, yes, I'll take that deal, and would bail after the first 2 or 3 months.
Most people, yeah, because the work is too hard.
Yeah.
You know, the grind is hard. You know, I always hear these things on Instagram. You ever see these things on Instagram, these fake ass like self-motivation people?
Yeah.
You know, like they're just like, hey, just get up and...
It's for people in their 20s. I'm writing a bit on this. It's for people in their 20s. It's artificial confidence.
Yeah. It's just like, but it's artificial confidence, but the thing is, it's coming from artificial people.
Yeah. You don't know who these people are.
You don't know who these people are. Like, you don't know what exactly they did. You know, what stuff they've been through. You know, they're just people who know how to really articulate words, probably read a book or two.
Yeah.
More than me. And they just, you know, have a very, very soothing and very convincing voice, you know? Like now if you like the approach like a David Goggins, a hard approach.
But like you're not
I still will listen to that guy.
But then he's just gonna be that for the, you know, like.
Well, that's all he knows. And that's how he's not trying to be anything else.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying then you're 100 and you're that.
Love it.
Like chill the fuck out.
Oh nah, dude. I want an older guy like Tony Robbins. Like I want a 90-year-old Tony. Not Tony Robbins. Who the fuck's his name? David Goggins. That's the other guy with the big head.
I think a little bit of David Goggins is fine. I think a little bit of that, you need a little bit of that in your life. But to be that 24/7,
pretty intense. It's
fucking like I'm just asking you about my 401k. He's like, you're a fucking pussy because you didn't run 10 miles today. And I'm like, I just need to know if I can roll this over without any tax infringement or any tax penalty.
Just a simple question.
Penalty? You're in the penalty, fatso. I don't know what you're saying here. I'm just trying to get can you just help me? Like, David Goggins does not work in all situations.
I feel like you would be, I mean, if he yelled at me, I'd be fine. But I feel like if he yelled at you,
it'd be an issue.
There'd be a meeting. Like, I feel like you would have a way to have a meeting.
I'd be like, David, look, it's not a one-size-fits-all. Okay, you're yelling. Because he'd yell. He'd cut me off. That's his first thing. He would think that I would be shook by him yelling at me. And maybe I very well would be. He was a Navy SEAL, for Christ's sake.
Was.
Military, I'm like, all right, whatever. You're a hard ass. I get Navy SEALs a different.
That's different.
That's a different. They'll lay in shit for 15 hours just to complete a mission. Like they don't, and they won't even. It doesn't bother them.
No. Navy SEAls are different. There's always levels to like things, right?
Yeah.
There's levels to athletes. There's levels to doctors. There's all.
I'd figure out a way to get David Goggins to calm the fuck down, though. I'd be like, David, look. I need you to approach me a little bit more. Let's just role play. Let me be you.
No.
That would really fucking send them off.
No. The only thing that you actually have the same as, like, the only thing that you can compare like to David Goggins is you guys are like the same height. That's
Yeah.
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 He's a little intense. He's an intense dude.
He is very intense.
I don't think you like that these type of like intense people all the time.
I grew up with intense people, so that's why I'm kind of like, I'm all set with the intensity. Because I see sometimes that it's veiled in something else. There's something else behind that intensity.
Well, yeah.
And I'm kind of just like, well, what's that?
Probably the fact that like they had to be that way in order to survive.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's like what people like. A lot of people don't understand is like, the question a lot of people would say to a person like that is, why is a person that intense? Why are they that? What it looks like or seems to be angry all the time, or that passionate, or that talks loud, or whatever. And a lot of times it's because that's the only like vessel that they had to use in order to survive.
Yeah.
Like, not just like some people are just like, oh wow, he's just going to the coffee shop. Like, why is he? He's ordering an oat bran muffin. Why is he yelling? Like, why is he so serious? Well, because he probably was serving in Iraq. And
so I'm not laughing at but the way that you're saying is like exactly how it should be said. Well, maybe because he was firing off munition rounds.
Yeah.
In Fallujah,
and saving
for 3 years,
right, and saving orphan kids from fucking,
getting split in half by a roadside bomb. Yeah.
He's not gonna. You know what he's not gonna say? You know what he's not gonna do? You fucking earthy, crunchy Cambridge hack.
Like you were saying that to me.
No, I would say Mr. Hack. Yeah, you're not gonna see a David Goggins going into a very calm muffin store and be like, hey, do you mind if I have that oat bran muffin? He's just not.
No.
He's been trained to kill.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Like that's why most people like, I don't know why. This is why I don't understand about some people, where people like make fun of people or don't understand why people are so intense. Like, just look at them.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, look at as to why they're intense.
Yeah.
Do they have a military patch on? Do they have do they have like,
the transformative years of their life were in very intense situations.
But the transformative years can also be seen on their face. Like you can kind of see how their body language, you know what I mean? Or like their eyes. There's just like intense people are usually like, they don't take their time of showing you that they're not intense. They'll like let you know right away.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I'm an intense person?
You?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're intense. I think you're very contemplative. You contemplate a lot.
Let me look at that word. Jesus.
I'm telling you what it is. You're very contemplative. You contemplate things quite a bit. You're always assessing what's going on.
You don't think I'm intense?
No, I wouldn't say you're very intense. I think you're passionate.
Okay.
Intense is kind of like intense would be like me telling you, or intense would be like you telling me I'm going to be at your apartment at 5, and I come down at 5:10, and you going, it's 5:10. You told me to be here at 5 and waiting out here for 10 minutes. What took you so long? And I'm like, well, I accidentally put my phone on silent and I didn't see the call. I'm sorry. So that's 10 minutes of my life that I'm not going to get back now. I just want to be clear on like what the misunderstanding was. That's fucking intense.
That's intense.
To me, that's intense.
Got it.
And I've been around people like that before. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this is not gonna.
It's not gonna go good.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone's intense at times, but I think like your baseline to me is very inquisitive, contemplative, very observational.
Can you write that down so I could put that on my bio for
We'll
Tinder?
put that in the summary of the show.
No, I want to put it on my Tinder bio. I'd get more hits on
I have
that.
access to all your accounts, so I'll just update that for you.
That's a great description. I mean, I definitely should put that on my Tinder profile for sure. Intense people. I kind of, I've always kind of been, especially, I guess maybe just our age, right? Like we come from that generation, like where a lot of our peers or older people were like very like, especially like in athletics, right? Coaches would actually yell at you, "What the fuck you doing? Get up, motherfucker!" You know. Now I've heard like from parents who have kids now in like athletics, even coaches that I know, they're like, "Yeah, it's changed. You can't even
Doesn't
like,
work.
You can't even like, yeah, it doesn't. Well, yeah, it doesn't work for the most. Yeah, I mean." Maybe like the elite athletes it does because they just have a different membrane, right? Like
Sort of. I think it depends on like
actually, yeah, you're right.
what program you're going to.
Yeah, it
like,
depends on what program. Yeah.
like look what's happened with John Calipari at Kentucky.
Well, what's going on with him?
There's like they fucked up. Like the team blew a lead. Like a clear Kentucky basketball wins this game 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is and they blew some lead.
Okay.
And Calipari was just like, no one's getting a phone, no one's getting a tablet, no one's getting an internet connection the night before a game going forward.
Oh.
And I think they're kind of just like, yeah, that's not going to work. You know?
Right.
Because he's an intense guy. And I think to get to that point where you, as a college coach, you're just like, before we're taking all of your tablets and everything like that, you're not going to be on fucking Instagram till 1 a.m.
I like it.
You know, this is bullshit. You're not going to fucking lose a game.
I like
that
it.
You should win. I love it.
I like it.
But when you get to that point and you're saying it on national television in a press conference,
I like it even more.
that all the yelling in practice is like, the intensity in practice is gone. So now he has to embarrass them on a national stage.
I like it all.
I do too, but I'm
like
just
it
saying
all.
to my point, it clearly is not.
It's not feasible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach K had to retire. I mean, he was getting old, but I think at a certain point he was probably looking around being like, yeah, no one's really
It's not the same.
listening to me anymore. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's, well, shout out to John Calipari for still staying true to the old school ways.
Yeah.
And if you need someone to fill in,
You look like a Kentucky recruit right now.
I appreciate that.
Sitting down.
Well, yeah, we did talk about my.
Oh, I meant to ask you, what do you think is tall?
I think tall where it starts is about 6'1",
Yeah.
6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
But even if you're like 6 feet, you're like that's tall to me.
Average height in America for a man is 5'8" or 5'9". I looked it up.
I think it's 5'9".
Yeah, 5'9".
Yeah, I'm 1 inch under that,
Okay.
according to my license.
How tall are you actually? My guess is 5'6".
I don't fucking know.
My guess is 5'6".
Not 5'6".
Oh, I hit it. I hit the nail on the head. I just saw the way that you turned your head. You're like, fuck.
5'6" and 3/4",
Okay.
bitch.
How tall do you have to be to manage a Roth IRA? No. Yeah, because I'm 6'3", and I look at people who are, I think 6'4" up is tall. I'll look at someone and be like, you must be, because they're just a little bit above eye level to me. And I'm like, oh, if you're above eye level to me, then you're fucking tall.
You don't think I could be the only? You don't think I can have a growth spurt, like a like you don't think there's like one?
Not at 41.
But I feel like with science going the way it is, like
You could do a
can I do an
fibia
experiment?
implant.
Can I sign up for an experiment?
There's a thing out there where they take out your femur and they add inches to your femur. I think like 3 or 4 inches.
I could add some other couple inches. Hey.
Chase is doing his impression of a hacky North Shore comic. Headlining at, what's that place? Prince Pizza?
That's right.
Shout out to Prince
See me
Pizza.
at Cabot Lounge featuring
And then
Don
she
Zolo.
pulled out my dick and I said, wowza.
No, but you don't think? I think Elon Musk will probably create something like that, like reversing the pituitary gland.
Oh, no. See, Elon's on some like robotic shit. He's trying to put a chip in your brain. I think it's like weird doctors in Brazil that are like, oh, no. We'll just take a dead person's bone and put it in your body and it will fuse to your femur and it will add 3 inches and we'll charge you $1,000.
I'll take anything that adds 3 inches anywhere.
You'll take it? It's $1,000.
I'll take 3 inches anywhere.
People have done it and you can tell. But then you're immobile. That's the thing is like you're immobile for like 6 months. Yeah, but then you get the rest of your life.
Get the rest of my life.
Being my height.
Yeah. It's fine. 6 months is nothing. I was in a refugee camp for 3 years. I'll be fine.
I was talking to my barber the other day, and she said something because I was telling her that I did I didn't do like hair replacement, but I took the Hims, like hair growth.
Oh, just take vitamin B follicles.
And so I was doing that, and then she said something. She's like, "Are you doing this?" And I was just like, I remember I heard someone say, "I don't like to solve problems that don't exist." Basically, this is how I look.
That's it.
This is it.
Yeah.
I'm not capping my teeth. Like maybe I'll get like adult braces if my teeth get really quick, but no. This is how my teeth look.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just went down a fucking rabbit hole of Nick explains to me how he looks, and he's content of how he looks. And please send him your fucking courtesy, send him a message,
What'd you do this weekend? You had to rent a car.
I did. I rented a car. I've been renting cars lately. The first car that I rented for a day, and then I ended up keeping it for a week. It's fucking such a Chase move. You know what it was? I didn't even extend. The thing is, when I extended the car, I didn't extend it with the full days in mind of how much I needed it for. Mm-hmm. I extended it just one day, and I kept on going back every day to extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that bill was pretty hefty.
You gonna buy a new car?
Yeah, when the car prices go down.
What kind of car would you get?
You know what? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, please do.
I went on this date the other day, right? I would say it was a date or it was a meetup. Sure. I mean, it was more of a meetup. And you know what the woman said to me?
Do you work in finance?
She goes, no, she didn't say that. She goes, oh, what car is this? I was like, oh, it's a rent a car. She goes, why don't you just buy a car? And I was like, well,
why don't you just walk?
I was like, why don't you buy a car? She's like, I have a car. I was like, oh, okay. So how much did it cost? She goes, well, I can be honest with you. I never had to actually pay for it. My mom, and I was like, oh, can you not ever give me advice from a point where you actually had to do something on your own?
Yeah.
Because I never had that privilege. So you know what bothers me? People who will tell you to do something and don't do it. I can't stand those people.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me to go buy a car, but you're driving a car that you never bought, and your mom's paying for it. You know how aggravating that is to a person to hear.
She's like, you should have bought my car. You should buy my car. Just pay me the money for it.
It was her car's a Subaru.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a tough look.
It fits her though.
Yeah.
It fits her.
Where'd you guys go? Was it days? Meet up?
Gabe and Louis. Yeah, son.
Casual.
I had lobster mac and cheese there.
That feels like a very you dish.
Yeah, I'll go with lobster mac and cheese. I put some Tabasco sauce on it. To give it a little pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I valeted the car, the rent-a-car. I pulled up like a baller.
What a move.
Yeah. I was like, hey, how much is valet? He goes, 25. I was like, all right. He's like, yeah, cash? I was like, nah, I got a card. He's like, it's 26 with card. I was like,
I respect that.
I was like, yeah, I got it. Run it and keep it up front. He didn't keep it up front. He had
He saw the barcode.
He saw the barcode. He saw the rental. He's like, it'll take 20 minutes to get your car when you text it. I was like, what the point's of valet? I could have just parked my own. So I had to send a text to a number for the car. He said 20 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is this? Is not valet then. This is just you just being a fucking, You're the extension of the garage. You're the guy that's worked for the garage. Does anyone like do anything like remotely that makes sense anymore? Any companies work anymore?
No. Without getting into a rant that will no doubt not be listened to by the people that listen to this podcast, I will say that no one is really doing what they're supposed to be doing anymore.
It really is remarkable.
But then they expect you to tip. Here's the thing: I tip well, but like in that situation, $20. I'm tipping you for $4. You're supposed to tip valets between $1 and $5 each time.
Okay.
Drop the car off, $2. Pick the car up, $3. Whatever.
I tip $5
or $5. $5's easier. Yeah, $5's the way to go.
Yeah,
agreed.
You know what's pissed me off this weekend also, bro? So the woman that I went, we had some food at Abe and Louie's. We went to another bar, right? Do you know the bartender when I went to go outside, the woman ordered a drink, an espresso martini. I went to go outside to smoke some devil's lettuce. 12 minutes I was outside. I went back. The bartender still didn't make her drink. And she was like, I want to leave because I asked her to make a drink and she didn't even make it. She's just like washed. She's like more concerned about like putting the dishes in the dishwasher. She's not even like making the drink. I was like, oh, no worry about it. I'll take it from here. I got up, asked for the manager. It's like, can I have a word with you?
Love this.
I was like, she's like, are you the manager? He goes, no. I was like, the manager's right there though. I was like, can I talk to her? So she comes over. She goes, may I help you? I was like, yeah, I just want to let you know, I actually work over here as a director of food and beverage, which is a fucking lie.
Oh my God, you are just.
But I just had to like say it so they get a little,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a director of food and beverage over here. She goes, I said, what's the problem? I was like, well, I don't want to make this a big deal, but I work in hospitality and I work in the service industry, and your bartender didn't make my friend a drink for 12 minutes. I don't want to, I'm just going to pay it. There's no harm, no foul. But you may want to
address that.
Yeah. And that's all, no harm, no foul. And you know what she did? She didn't even say, thank you. I'll make sure to let her know. I'll talk to her. I apologize. Here's the tab for free comp. It was only 2 drinks. It was like whatever, $16, whatever. She didn't comp the drink. She didn't even apologize. And she just took the ticket and just said, well, I hope to see you back. I'm not coming back. Are they hiring people?
You don't want to say the place either.
City Table.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I know that place.
At the Lennox Hotel.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's a fun bar. It's like kind of a cool space to go to, but yeah, that's what you have to deal with at a place like that. I was surprised when I went in there. I'm like, I feel like a hotel is supposed to be a little bit more like, my pleasure. We'll get this done.
My pleasure is a great word.
Love my pleasure. Man, yeah, that's tough.
I think me and you should start a consultative servicing company in hospitality.
I see, and I think it should be free.
Well, then, see,
because here's the thing: no one's going to pay. No one cares. But I think if we just go around and
not
we're
with
like,
that attitude.
By the way, what we need to do is do like exactly what you did. By the way, we're with Michelin, and we're going around to all the restaurants. We're not giving out stars, but we're just checking. We're trying this new tier. We're going to do tires. just basic service. You have 1 Michelin tire.
Right.
Right. Out of 5.
Out of 5?
Yeah. And then if you get 5 consistent tires, whatever, you get a star, whatever. But like, and we just go to these places and be like, what the fuck what are you thinking? Was it busy?
Yeah, not really.
No.
Not really. It wasn't that busy.
That bugs. That's.
Yeah, it really pissed me off.
Because there's no good way to be like, just whenever you get a chance, can you just make that drink that I already asked you for?
At that point, it was like, if we say it once and if we give you a look and you're not, this is the problem with people. They don't know how to read the room. Yeah. A lot of people don't know how to be, like you said, you don't necessarily have to be the best at something, but if you just know how to read the room in situations, you can do well in life.
Sure.
Just know how to read the room and know how to adapt, and you will do well in life. I'm not saying you're going to be the most richest person in the world, but you're going to be a functional human being if you know how to read the room, in my opinion.
I can't believe I missed this. Did you say you stepped outside for 12 minutes?
I did.
Do you normally do that on dates? Oh, this wasn't a date, you said.
No, it wasn't really a date,
right.
but it was more. But no, I stepped out. I had to get some air. Jesus Christ. You know?
You had to smoke.
Yeah.
So, well,
It take your time, you know.
do that on a date?
I went on IG Live. Talked to some of my followers. Yeah.
I saw you on IG Live, and I was gonna log on, but I was like, I cannot inflate his ego by going on his IG Live.
No.
Because I know it would have been.
It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I was going to tell you the other day? I felt like you have like a really good look of like a secret shopper. Like your body looks like if you came into my T-Mobile store, if I was a regional manager, I'd be like, he's a secret shopper for T-Mobile corporate office.
Like one of those like the Michelin people that when they come in to test a restaurant.
Yeah.
They sit down. They're always in a suit, no tie. Order half a bottle of wine. They place a fork on the ground just to see if someone will notice it. They don't drop it because it'll make a noise. They just place it on the ground.
Like
that's me.
Yeah, but you would actually say key words that they would actually, like the corporate office would send me like a couple weeks before, like certain key words on the addendum, on the memo. Watch out for these key words from the secret shopper. And you would say a couple of them. And
how's the service in this branch? What would you say the satisfaction rate is in the branch?
Right.
This guy's fucking with corporate.
Right. Yeah. How many upsales did you do this week? You know, I don't know, but I guess what we can take away from this podcast is know how to roll over your money. No basic principles of finance, right? 2, don't what was the second one we talked about?
This is why you shouldn't step outside to smoke weed on a date for 12 minutes. That's exactly my point. Money.
Right.
Learn how to read a room.
Yes, learn how to read a room, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. God damn it.
If you could get a state job or a city job, get the job.
Learn a trade, learn a skill.
Learn a trade, learn a skill.
Even if it's for for your own personal interest.
Yep.
You necessarily, I'm not saying, listen guys, this is obviously a comedy podcast. This is a lot of this is satirical. But hey, if you have time to learn, even as a hobby, learn a skill or a trade. Mm-hmm. You know, carpentry, plumbing, or even just know how to even work, how it even works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing I would say is just YouTube how something works.
Yeah.
How do you fix a toilet?
How do you fix a toilet?
YouTube.
Yeah. Which is crazy because you could pretty much learn everything on YouTube now, which is like scary and a little interesting at the same time. Right? What is scary is that I'm going to be leaving this podcast now.
And hitting the road.
Because some of you guys are like, Jesus Christ, that episode was fucking uninformative.
Where can they find you?
At Chase Abel, Instagram, guys. At Chase Abel, ChaseAbel. I'm on all podcast platforms. This podcast is on all podcast platforms. TikTok, I'm on at ChaseAbel_comedian. Please follow me there. Website, guys. I have a website, so it directly links to all my social media platforms. www.chaseabel.com. And please don't forget to follow our producer at Nicky Neighborhoods on Instagram, who does a great job here producing this podcast. The podcast is growing. We're making some great new additions. Can't wait to have guests on. We're going to be looking forward to having that in the future, and video. So stay tuned with that. Nicky, do you have anything to add?
No, we have video now, as people can see. We're going to have guests on hopefully by at the end of next month. This is going to air in, I think, January, end of January. So in a couple more episodes, hopefully we'll have some guests. And the studio is slow, but it's getting there. It's getting there. We're getting, I was just talking to Chase earlier, we're getting a nice little rug, little sound installation in here, maybe a sign, maybe a chair for a fucking guest to sit in.
And please,
filtered water.
Filtered something. Guys, check out the last episode too, episode 59, King Joffrey Energy. That was a pretty good episode too. So we had some fun with that. And again, like, subscribe, share if you like the podcast. Appreciate it again. We'll look forward to hearing from you again. Send me messages on Instagram if you want me to plug anything or just even want me to talk about certain topics. Don't be afraid to send me a message through Instagram. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We out. Peace.